Hey everyone, this is Randy Nunes, your host of Between the Chalk Lines podcast, where it's all baseball talk all the time. And your boy here has got some news. Mike Trout is only 10 home runs away from 400. And I would say 400 puts him in a Hall of Fame lock. You know, there's always 500, 600, 700 home runs, maybe one day. For Mike Trout, I highly doubt that the 700 home run is something that he'll hit. You know, I think 500 is feasible for Mike Trout. Um, and I also wanted to say that, you know, this whole Rafael Devers thing just blew up. Super massive drama in Boston. Traded away Rafael Devers. Let me pull up the full trade details here. I want to make sure I get you exactly who Boston got back in return. Here we go. I think this might be it. Here we go. So, sorry. Not San Diego. That was my bad. First mistake. San Francisco, so it was close. Not San Diego, but San Francisco. Giants 3-time All-Star Rafael Devers on the Red Sox on Sunday, so couldn't get you that news right away. Boston receives left-hand pitcher, starter Carl Harrison, right-handed Jordan Hicks, who's a flamethrower, used to be at least, as well as outfield prospect James Tibbs III and rookie league right-hander Jose Bayo. So, heard of Bayo, I've heard of Hicks. He's been in the majors, and obviously heard of Kyle Henderson. The Giants will cover the remainder of Devers' contract, which runs through 2033. So, several more seasons, and will pay him more than $250 million. So, more than 250 million. Gotta start saying part of a billion, because you got guys getting $700 million or $600 million. It's kind of crazy, Giants covering all of that money and then sending all of these pitchers and outfielder. Obviously, you know, Devers was playing first base after the Tristan Casas season-ending injury for Boston, but the Giants are making a push to be first place in the National League West. That is something that we always do here on Between the Chalk Lines podcast. We talk about these standings. Our good friend Jared Timms said, "Don't count out the Angels for the postseason" last week. And I'll put the video for last week here. And I'm going to show you why here in this video, why we should not count out the Angels. We're going to do the standings. Everyone, just give me a minute. I'm so sorry. So let's see here. starting in the NL East, Phillies are 46-30. Only have a 1-game lead over the Mets, who are 45-31. Braves are climbing up slowly but surely, 34-40. 11 games back, so it's a huge gap between the Mets, Braves, and then the Nationals, who are 31-44. And finally, the last place, Marlins, in 30-44, are 15 games back first place. That would be quite the comeback story for the Braves, first off, and the Nationals, Marlins. National League Central, the Cubs are in first place at 45-30, 4.5 in front of the Cardinals, who are in second place at 41-35. Then you have third place Brewers, who are 40-35. 5 games back of the Cubs. That's not a lot of ground to cover. Cubs really need to cover their back. So I can see the Cubs being buyers at the trade deadline or in the upcoming weeks. After the Brewers, you have the Reds at 39-37, 6.5 back, first place. Again, not impossible to come back from. The Pirates, however, are 30-47, 16 games back, first place. We're looking at the end of June here, coming up real quick. 16 games back. That's possibly something that is impossible to come back from. The NL West, Dodgers are first place, not something that is shocking. The Giants, second place, only 3.5 back, 42-33. The Dodgers are 46-30. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Third place team in NL West is only 5 games back. Padres are 40-34. The D-backs are 37-37, playing 500 ball, only 8 games back of first place, if you can believe that. So the D-backs even still have a chance here. The Rockies, need to see the Rockies here this year. 17-58, 58 losses, I think, are the most. I'll have to check the American League. Are 28.5 games back of first place. That is something that nobody has ever come back from. I believe the biggest gap that has been overcome is 21 games. Don't quote me. So the American League, the AL East, Yankees, Angels finally left New York. Judge hit a home run today. It's Friday the 20th. Yankees first place, 43-32, are only 2 games back. Sorry, in front of the Rays. The Rays came back from the bottom very quickly. They are 41-34, and then you have the Blue Jays right behind them at 40-35. They're only 3 games back. Red Sox, they sold Devers. I kind of feel like these guys are sellers, even though they're 8-2. In the last 10 games, they've lost or won the last 8. They're going to be sellers, only 4.5 back. Orioles kind of just want to forget the season at 33-42, 10 games back, first place. Not impossible to overcome that, but the way they're playing, I mean, they're 7-3 in the last 10, but they did sweep the Angels, so that helps in that span. They played 3 games, and I believe they took all 3 games. And then the AL Central, the Tigers are 6-4 in the last 10, 48-28 overall. 632 ball, everyone. 26-12 at home, 22-16 away. These guys are just about a lock at home if you're watching them, and gonna put fire up on the road. First place. Guardians right behind them at 37-36, 9.5 games back. Not really right behind them, but second place is second place. Twins are 37-37, playing 500, are 10 games back of first place. The Royals are slowly starting to fade. 37-38, just behind the Twins at 10.5 games back of first place. And then you have the White Sox, who are 24-52, are 24 games back of first place, the Detroit Tigers. So I think the Tigers are going to be representing the AL Central. We'll look at the wild card standings right after this. AL West, that has changed. The Mariners were in first place for a little bit. Now the Astros have a 4.5 game lead over them at 43-32. The Astros and Angels are actually playing right now. The Mariners are 38-36, 4.5 back of Astros, but are 5-5 in the last 10. So playing 500 ball, you're not gonna really take first place. Maybe in the AL West if the Astros struggles, but the Astros are not struggling. They're 7-3 in the last 10. Third place, you have the Rangers, who are 37-39. Losing team. Finally, a team that's below 500 here in the West, and has a losing record. 6.5 back of first place. Not impossible to come back from. They're 6-4 in the last 10. The Angels actually are 36-38, are 6.5 back of the Astros, losing right now in a set that goes through the weekend. They're 6-4 in the last 10. It would be a lot higher if they hadn't been swept by the Orioles. And then the Athletics for last place, 31-46, and they are 13 games back of first place, 5-5 in the last 10. So, these middling teams, the Mariners, Rangers, Angels, can all possibly make the playoffs, or can all possibly you can take first place. So let's see the wild card. Obviously you have the leaders in the AL. We're going to start off in the American League. The Tigers, the Astros, the Yankees. That switched since last week. And then you have the Rays, Jays, and Mariners. Red Sox are tied, but need to win one more game, or I think half a game back of the Mariners. So the Red Sox actually have a chance to take the last or even second wild card spot. So selling off Devers is a huge question mark. Maybe they'll look into the future. They do have Garrett Crochet, obviously. Then you have the Guardians, who are only a half game back of the Mariners. The Twins are one game back of the Mariners, and Royals 1.5. Then you have the Rangers. Angels are 2 games back of Mariners. So that is an interesting landscape, going from a literal tie with the Mariners and Red Sox. The Mariners have .001 winning percentage better than the Red Sox, so they take that third and final spot if the season ended today. In the National League, we have the Dodgers, the Phillies, and the Cubs. And then you have the Mets, Giants, and Padres. So 3 National League West teams. Sorry, guys. Got a coughing fit there. Like I was saying, the Mets, Giants, Padres all have a spot in the wild card for the National League. And then you have the Cardinals, who are in a literal tie with Padres. The Padres have a 541 winning percentage, while the Cardinals have a 539 winning percentage. So they do need to work a little bit to get that last spot. And then you have the Brewers are only half game back of a spot, and the Reds 2 games back of a spot, and then you have the D-backs only 3 games back of a wild card spot. So all 3 of those wild card spots could possibly be filled with National League West teams in the Giants, Padres, and D-backs. So you can have the Dodgers, the Giants, the Padres, D-backs, all representing in the National League, which would be wild. That would be just absolutely wild, because one of those teams would have to play the Dodgers. And then it just drops off from there. You have the National League. The Nationals are 9.5 back of the last place wild card spot. That's a lot to gain. And then the rest of the teams, obviously. News today just kind of popped up out of nowhere. I can't really tell you too much about it. I don't know too much about it. Ron Washington will not be managing the Angels for the moment. It's not known how long he'll be out. He's got some sort of head injury, or let's triple check. Out indefinitely. With a health scare. So bench coach Montgomery will be stepping in. Perry Managron, GM of the Angels, just said they wanted to cross their T's, dot their I's, make sure that he's 100%, and obviously not push him and wait before they put him back in the dugout and have him managing. So, um, let's see here. Ray Montgomery will be managing until Washington is back. So, I mean, Washington is elderly. He's 73 years old. You want to make sure he's fine. You also have to remember the fact that he is in a contract year. This is the end of his 2-year contract that he signed with the Angels. I highly doubt that he resigns to manage the Angels further after 2025. So that's just me. I can't tell you for sure. I mean, that's Ade Marino and GM's job to figure out. Just wanted to say that that's like the breaking news. So breaking news today is Ron Washington. Then obviously over the weekend was Rafael Devers getting booted from Boston, sent all the way to San Francisco. And Mike Trout at 390, he has passed Craig Nettles of the Hall of Fame. Or Craig Nettle, sorry. He hit a total of, or he has tied him. He hit 390 home runs. Well, and is in the Hall of Fame. 2-time World Series winner, 6-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove, ALCS MVP. I think he won World Series. I'm not sure. I don't know if he has a World Series. Let me triple check this here. I know that they made it to the World Series. Yeah, the 78 Yankees. Yes, they. So he was with the 78 Yankees. They did win the World Series against the Dodgers 4-2. So Big Nettle is a World Series winner as well as all of the above that I mentioned. The only other big things I wanted to mention was Jack Flaherty has escalated. Sorry. He had a bad game, allowing 8 runs today. Didn't make it past third inning, but he did escalate his player option to $20 million next year because this was his 15th start. So his 2-year free agent deal only guaranteed $10 million for next year, but because he made this 15th start, it tacks on another $10 million. So congratulations, Jack Flaherty, for getting that money. Kyle Gibson opts out of his Ray deal. He was on a minor league deal contract with the Rays and reportedly has opted out. AJ Puck is out for the season, undergoes elbow surgery Gabriel Moreno diagnosed with a fractured finger. I believe the same thing happened to Lindor. Let me triple check that. I believe Francisco Lindor broke his like pinky finger, but let me triple check. Fractured the pinky toe on his right foot, so not his hand. He is dealing with a fractured pinky toe on his right foot, sustained from a pitch in a game against the Dodgers of all teams. So apparently he's just day to day, not on IL. But you know, it's gonna give someone else younger than him a chance to play. And just to see, I believe it's Ronny Mauricio who got called up to play in his stead. So Lindor's contract was 10 years, $341 million. And that ends in 2031. So the Mets are stuck with Lindor for quite a while. That's another 6 seasons. I mean, he's just stuck. He's not even at 10 years of major league experience. So that's saying a lot. He'll make $32.47 million each season, every season of this contract. That's an expensive contract, especially if you want to do a Devers and just punt him. But I mean, let's see, Ronny Mauricio, see how he's doing. I believe he is playing right now. So yeah, June 3rd, the Mets recalled shortstop Ronny Mauricio from Syracuse Mets, and he has played for 3 teams this season. Let's see his MLB, just his major league, and games. So yeah, 19th. Yesterday he played. This year, he's played just about every day in June, as well as May and late April when the Lindor thing cropped up. But Lindor's thing only kind of really showed itself to everyone starting recently. So Mauricio in the last 15 games is hitting a $182 with 2 homers and 3 RBIs, which isn't the best, and struck out 15 times with only 2 bags. Mauricio is struggling. He's got a really tough job. I mean, filling in for a guy like Francisco Lindor. who's got that track record. What can you do? So that's it for this week's podcast. Between the chalk lines, where it's all baseball talk all the time. Remember, I'll see you next week.